Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling Text18, which, well, you might bump into if you're prepping for those master's entrance exams in English.
Exactly. And, these academic texts, they can seem a bit daunting. So our plan is really to break this one down step by step, build some confidence.
Yeah, the mission today isn't super deep analysis. It's more about basic understanding, right? Just unpacking the sentences, explaining some tricky words so the main ideas become clear.
That's it. And this article, it's mainly about the digital divide, the gap between the information rich and the information poor.
Right. But the author's actually pretty optimistic about closing that gap. And there's also discussion on foreign investment helping build the tech infrastructure. Okay, so let's jump into the first sentence.
Let's do it. So, sentence one. A great deal of attention is being paid today to the so-called digital divide, the division of the world into the info-rich and the info-poor.
Okay, lots happening there.
Well, let's find the core. What's getting the attention? A great deal of attention. That's our subject.
And what's happening to it?
It is being paid. That's the verb part. Passive voice here.
Paid to what?
To the so-called digital divide.
So-called, that just means like, this is what people are calling it, right? It's not necessarily the author's preferred term.
Precisely. And then that bit after the dash, the division of the world into the info-rich and the info-poor.
That's just clarifying digital divide, isn't it? Like a mini definition built right in.
Exactly. Super helpful.
Oh.
Now, moving on to a slightly trickier one. What was less visible then, however, were the new positive forces that work against the digital divide.
This one feels a bit backwards.
It is. It's an inverted structure. The main thing the sentence is about is the new positive forces.
And those forces were what was less visible then. Is that the idea?
You got it? It's like saying the thing we didn't see so clearly back then, well, that was these helpful new forces fighting the divide.
And however, signals a contrast, yeah. Like, despite the divide, there's this other thing happening.
Correct. That, however, is key. And that work against the digital divide, that's just a relative clause telling us more about the forces, what they do.
Okay, makes sense. How about this one? As the internet becomes more and more commercialized, it is in the interest of business to universalize access. After all, the more people online, the more potential customers there are.
Right. So the first chunk, as the internet becomes more and more commercialized, that's setting the scene. It tells us when something happens.
Like a time clause. And the main point follows. It is in the interest of business to universalize access.
Exactly. And universalize access, what's that about?
Just getting everyone online, basically, making it universal.
And the why comes after all.
The more people online, the more potential customers there are. Simple business logic, really. More eyeballs, more sales.
Spot on. You'll also see connectors like as a result later on. Think of them as signposts.
Guiding you through the argument. As a result means a consequence is coming up.
Yep. And then in paragraph 4, there's that conditional structure. If you have more foreign capital helping you build your third wave infrastructure, which today is an electronic infrastructure, the better off you're going to be.
Okay, the if part is the condition. So if you get foreign money for modern tech, which they call third wave or electronic infrastructure,
And the result is?
the better off you're going to be. A better situation, it's cause and effect again.
Exactly. Now, let's touch on a few key vocabulary items you did, so-called. How about looming danger?
Oh, yeah. Looming makes it sound big and maybe threatening, approaching slowly.
Right, a potential threat. And universalize access. We covered that, making it available for everyone.
Netted together sounds more visual than just connected, doesn't it?
It does, like a network.
Huh?
And combating world poverty is pretty straightforward, fighting poverty globally.
What about get over their outdated anti-colonial prejudices?
That's about countries letting go of old negative feelings about former colonizers, especially regarding investment.
Okay, and sovereignty.
A nation's independence, its right to govern itself.
Infrastructure. The text gives examples, like roads and ports. But here, it focuses on the electronic infrastructure, like the internet networks.
That's the third wave part. And finance just means paid for.
And better off, simply in a better situation.
Good. Phrases like lying down and becoming fooled or run uncontrolled, they suggest potential downsides. Yeah, things going wrong.
Definitely negative consequences if things aren't handled carefully. And recognizing how important they can be is just about understanding the potential value.
Okay, so shifting gears slightly. when you face the questions on these passages?
Right, the comprehension questions. What's the strategy?
Well, the key thing is usually the answers are in the text, either directly stated or, strongly implied.
So read the questions first, get an idea of what you're looking for.
That's a good approach. Find keywords in the question, then scan the passage for those words or synonyms.
And watch out for wrong answers that maybe bring in outside info or twist the text or focus on tiny details.
Exactly those traps. Stick to what the passage actually says. Always get the literal meaning down first before jumping to conclusions or inferences.
It's easy to get lost in those long sentences, though.
Oh, definitely. The trick, like we practiced, is to break them down. Find the core. Subject, verb, object. Then see how the other bits and pieces modify that core.
And if you hit a word you don't know,
Don't panic. Use the context. Try to get the sentence's general drift from the words you do recognize. Often, that's enough.
paying attention to those connecting words, however, as a result, therefore, is crucial too, right, for the flow of ideas.
Absolutely, they show the logic. And don't let abstract terms like digital divide or sovereignty intimidate you. Focus on the simple ways the text explains them.
So, to wrap up, Text 18 might look complex, but if you break down the sentences, figure out the key vocabulary. It's manageable.
It really is. It's all about building that foundational understanding. Keep practicing, reading actively, and, well, it gets easier over time.
Definitely. So, maybe a final thought for our listeners. How does infrastructure development, whether it's physical roads or digital networks, actually impact equality and opportunity in different parts of the world? Something to chew on.
Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, until our next deep dive.